$500,000 in Florida. Does it get you a beachside paradise, a suburban family home, or just a tiny condo? Today, we're comparing what $500,000 can buy in Orlando, Sarasota, and Jacksonville, Florida. You'll be amazed at how different these homes and neighborhoods are. Pool and palm trees, or just a starter home? We're going on a little tour of 3 cities with the same budget, $500,000. That's a lot of money. But in Florida real estate, it stretches very differently depending on where you are. We'll cover typical homes, neighborhood vibes, and a bit of market insight for each city. Ready to see what your money can buy? Let's go house shopping. In Orlando, the median sale price is around $390,000 as of mid-2025. So $500,000 is above median, meaning you can get something pretty nice. For roughly $500,000 in Orlando, you're often looking at a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, single-family home in a suburban neighborhood. Probably around 2,500 to 3,500 square feet, a 2-car garage, and quite often a swimming pool in the backyard. Take this listing for example, 4-bed, 3-bath, 3,460 square foot home in Orlando, listed right at $500,000. It had a big backyard, but is a little outdated. In a family-oriented area like Winter Garden or Longwood, $500,000 might get you a newer 3 or 4-bedroom home with a community pool and great schools. Orlando's $500,000 neighborhoods are often suburban, family-friendly areas with well-rated schools and amenities. Think about places like Dr. Phillips, Winter Park, and Lake Mary, all of which really push that $500,000 to the edge. Or Hunters Creek, Sanford, and Claremont, which give you more wiggle room. All of these areas have lots of parks, shopping centers, and are within 20 to 30 minutes of the theme parks or downtown. If you prefer downtown living, $500,000 could buy you a reasonable condo or townhouse near Lake Eola or in Baldwin Park. This listing is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath townhome in Baldwin Park. It may not be anything too special on the inside, but you can't beat the incredible convenience of living in this planned community. But in terms of house, $500,000 in the surrounding Orlando areas can mean space. Many homes in this range have a 1/4-acre lot, maybe a screened-in lanai with that pool, and plenty of bedrooms for an office or guests. Perfect for a growing family or someone who wants more bang for the buck. As of July 2025, Orlando home prices have been pretty stable, even ticking up a bit. The median $390,000 in July was on par with earlier months. So with $500,000, you're comfortably above median. You won't get a mansion. Those in Orlando can easily hit $1 million or more. You'll definitely have choices. Right now, about 703 homes are for sale under $500,000 in Orlando proper, meaning inventory exists. Bottom line for Orlando, $500,000 buys a family-sized home with modern comforts, often in a subdivision with a community vibe or even in a gated community. And likely, you'll get more house size-wise than in coastal areas for the same money. Now, let's head to the Gulf Coast, Sarasota. Sarasota is known for its beautiful beaches like Siesta Key and an artsy, upscale atmosphere. It's also, on average, much more expensive than Orlando, with a median price around $475 in mid-2025. So $500,000 is just about median there. That means $500,000 in Sarasota gets you a moderate home rather than an extravagant one. Expect something like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home of around 1,600 to 2,000 square feet. It might be an older home in a desirable location or a newer home a bit further from the beach. This listing is a perfect example. A 3-bed, 2-bath, 1933 square foot home in Sarasota listed right at $500,000. It's upgraded, but you're definitely not going to be waterfront. In a central Sarasota neighborhood like Gulf Gate or Southgate, $500,000 could get you a nicely updated 3-2 ranch with maybe 1,800 square feet and a small pool. Keep in mind, these are older Florida-style homes from the 70s or 80s, but they're usually renovated. If you want to be very close to downtown or the beach, $500,000 might buy you a condo or a small, older cottage. Take this listing, for example. $500,000, 3-bedroom, 3-bath townhome. It's a short walk from the beach and a little over 2,000 square feet. Not beachfront, as those are much more, but you're close by at a much more reasonable price than being on the beach. And the good news is this will save you much more money on insurance in most cases. So $500,000 definitely gets you something in that realm. Sarasota's $500,000 neighborhoods can vary. You have suburban developments east of I-75 where newer homes sit, like Lakewood Ranch area, though technically that spills into Manatee County. In those areas, $500,000 might get you a new 4-bed in a planned community. Near the city and coast, $500,000 might mean cozy older neighborhoods with mature trees. Areas like Gulfgate or Vamo have mid-century homes for $500,000. You can get a top-tier one of those, and most will be upgraded at least a little bit. If you go north to Bradenton, which is just outside of Sarasota, $500,000 goes a lot further. But we'll stick to Sarasota proper for now. So what do you see for $500,000 in Sarasota? Likely a well-kept house, 10 to 20 minutes from the beach, maybe built in the 80s or 90s, with perhaps 3 beds, 2 baths, a 2-car garage, and possibly a small pool, or room for one. If brand new construction is your thing, $500,000 could buy you a new home in the developing areas eastward, but then you're a drive from the beach. If you want walkability to downtown Sarasota or the beach lifestyle, expect a townhome or condo rather than a big house. Let's head to the East Coast, to North Florida next. Jacksonville is famously one of the more affordable major cities in Florida. The median listing price in Jacksonville in July 2025 was only about $300,000, and the median sold price was around $300,000 as well. So $500,000 is well above the median. It can buy you a lot. For $500,000 in Jacksonville, you could get a pretty large single-family home, possibly new, in one of the nicer suburban neighborhoods, or even a historic gem. This $500,000 house is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath home around 2,600 square feet in a suburban community, and is a great example of what your money gets you. I've even seen new construction 4-bed homes in Northside Jacksonville around $450,000. So $500,000 can bump you to a bigger lot or extra upgrades. Alternatively, if you love historic charm, $500,000 in Jacksonville might net you a beautiful early 1900s house in neighborhoods like where this 1912 home is in Riverside. 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms at 2,152 square feet under the oak trees, and updated but with all the character, all for only $499. These areas are near downtown and are very desirable. Now, if you want to be on the water, $500,000 in Jacksonville won't buy you oceanfront. That's more Ponte Vedra or Jack's Beach. But it might get you waterfront on a creek or river in some parts. Perhaps a fixer-upper on the Trout River or a small house on one of the inland waterways. But generally, $500,000 in Jacksonville is easier to get a really nice inland home, and not quite enough for prime waterfront in 2025. Waterfront tends to start closer to $700,000 or more on something decent on the St. Johns River, for instance. Because Jacksonville is so spread out, $500,000 could mean different lifestyles. In the suburbs like Bartram Park, Oakleaf, or St. Johns County, that money might buy a big family home in a master planned community with HOA amenities like pools, splash pads, and trails. These areas are very family-centric. Newer, and $500,000 might even be below the average in some of the high-end suburbs. St. Johns County has top schools and accordingly higher prices. In the urban core or historic districts, $500,000 might buy you walkability. Riverside with coffee shops and parks nearby, as mentioned. Or San Marco area, maybe a smaller 3-2 bungalow, since San Marco is pricier, but $500,000 can secure something mid-range there. Jacksonville also has gated golf communities around, like Jack's Beach and Ponte Vedra area, though technically that's another county. If we include the greater Jacksonville area, $500,000 can buy a 3-bed condo on the Intracoastal, or a block or two from the beach at Atlantic Beach, maybe an older townhouse. But staying within Jacksonville City, you could get an executive home in a community like Queens Harbor with a marina, though entry-level homes there might start slightly above $500,000. Still, your money clearly stretches pretty far. In short, compared to Orlando and Sarasota, $500,000 in Jacksonville buys more house and often more land. A quick reality check. The data indicates the average home in Jacksonville is about $290,000. So $500,000 is like 1.7 times that. In Orlando, $500,000 is 1.3 times median, and in Sarasota, it's basically median. So in Jacksonville, you are an above average buyer. It might get you that 4-bedroom with a bonus room, 3-car garage, and a big yard for a pool. I recall a stat. Jacksonville homes often have larger lots. In newer Jacksonville subdivisions, 1/4 to half-acre lots aren't uncommon at this price point. Whereas in Orlando or Sarasota, many $500,000 homes sit on 0.2 acres or less, especially in Sarasota City. Jacksonville's market is active, but not crazy hot. With $500,000, you have a wide selection with over 600 homes under $500,000 on the market today. Builders are still building, so new inventory exists and they are offering incentives. It could be somewhat of a buyer's market in the higher price segments because many locals can't afford $500,000 easily, as local incomes in Jacksonville are lower on average than in South Florida. So you might negotiate some seller concessions or price wiggle room in Jacksonville at $500,000. Whereas Sarasota, it's a hot location, you're going to face fierce competition. I won't choose for you, but consider, if you want more house for the money, Jacksonville clearly gives you the biggest house, newer construction for your $500,000. If you want beach proximity, Sarasota wins. If you want city, culture, nightlife, Orlando has a decent nightlife, lots of events, plus theme parks. Sarasota has a vibrant art scene, theaters, and upscale dining. It skews a bit older demographically, but it's still lively. Jacksonville's nightlife is improving with riverside and downtown scenes, but more spread out. However, Jacksonville has an NFL team while Orlando and Sarasota don't. Taxes and insurance. All of Florida has no state income tax. Yay! Property taxes, roughly 1% of the value in Orlando and Jacksonville, a tad less in Sarasota, though the values are a little bit higher. Insurance, being inland, Orlando and Jacksonville can have lower home insurance rates than Sarasota on the coast. For example, an average Orlando home insurance is about $2,500 a year. Miami was $5,000. Sarasota might be somewhere in between, approximately $3,000 to $4,000 on average. So that's a nice budget factor. Now you've seen the differences. Which city home style speaks to you? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing which trade-offs people prefer. I hope this journey through Florida's real estate gives you a clearer picture of your options. Whether you're drawn to Orlando's family fun, Sarasota's seaside charm, or Jacksonville's spacious value, $500,000 can go far, just in different ways. As always, I have 2 free resources to help you further. Sunshine State Handbook. This free guide will give you more insights into Florida living across regions, including cost of living snapshots and home buying tips. Make sure to scan the QR code on screen to download it. One-on-one consultation. Still not sure which city falls into your lifestyle or how to navigate the market? Call me or text me to book a call. We can talk through your wish list, finances, and I'll give you personalized advice, whether it's finding that Orlando pool home or negotiating a deal in Sarasota's tough market. Thanks for watching and taking this virtual house hunt with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more insider info. This has been the Florida Real Estate Insider. I'm still Tom McNamara. See you in the next video.